Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel Book Talks with Yo. My name is Yoanna and today I'm coming at you with my March TBR. If I have to be honest, I wasn't really sure about filming this video as I'm somewhat of a mood reader and I was not sure whether month TBRs work for me actually, but I guess there is a first time for everything, so I'll find out. And yeah, as I said, that would be my first month TBR. I've never tried to make a month TBR pile or a specific TBR because I know that there is a chance of me not sticking to it. But I want to try it out. It might turn out to be good for me and for my reading habits. So yeah, I'll just try it out. I am not promising that I would actually read all those books that are on my TBR because I might end up choosing something completely different, but I will attempt to stick to my TBR and we'll see how it goes at the end of the month. But yeah, as I said, let's see what happens. Here I go. Okay, before I tell you about the first book on my TBR, I'll just quickly update you on my current reading situation. So I'm still reading When a Scot Ties the Knot, but I should be able to finish it today, hopefully. And it's not that the book is not interesting, because it is great, it's a very good book, but just the past few weeks have been crazy, and I've barely had any time to read, because I am free late in the evening, and when I try to read, I fall asleep 5 minutes later. So yeah, but as I said, I should be able to finish it pretty soon, and I'm also listening to Beach Read by Emily Henry. And this book is so entertaining so far. I'm loving the idea of a romantic writer and a literary fiction writer swapping places and attempting to write a book in the other genre. And it's just, yeah, they have very different life views and it is a hilarious read. I'm loving it so far. And I should be able to finish it pretty soon as well. So yeah, I'll finish those books one of these days and I will start with my March books. And the first book on my March TBR is actually The Secret History by Donna Tartt. And surprise, surprise, I don't know a lot about this book, but I do know that it is set in college and it is set in New England, I think. And I just love books that are set in college. It's something about this vibe that I love. Books set in colleges and universities are my go-to. And I know that there is some mystery here. I know that there is a murder right at the beginning. I know there is this classics professor and I think it's 6 of his students or something like this, trying to solve this murder. And yeah, that really is all I know. But this is usually my way with books. I don't like knowing too much about them, going into like reading them, especially with mysteries, because I think it would just spoil the fun for me. But yeah, it is a book I've been wanting to read for a long, long time. I was hoping to read it last autumn, but apparently this didn't happen. And I added it to my books I want to read in 2021, so hopefully here I go. Next on my list is an audiobook that I would like to listen, and this is called The Bromance Book Club by Lizzie K. Adams. I've heard a lot of things about this book recently, and I know that we have this man, Gavin, whose marriage is in a slump and is in a very serious risk when he finds out that his wife has been faking her enjoyment of their sexual life. And he makes this big argument about this because his ego is hurt and she files for divorce. However, he still loves her and he wants to do whatever it takes to save their marriage and fix things. And the thing he does is he joins this secret romance book club where all the Nashville's alpha men gather together and read romantic, steamy books to help them with their own love life, pretty much. And when Gavin joins them, they are actually reading this Regency romance, Courting the Countess or something like this. And with the help of this book, those other men help him save his marriage, which turns out to be harder than he thought. But yeah, it sounds like an original and fun rom-com, and I'm totally in for that. And I've heard good things about the audiobook. This is why I chose to listen to it instead of just read it. So yeah, I hope I won't be disappointed. Next up is the book I'm probably most excited about from this whole list, and this is The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. And I know little about this book, but it sounds so magical and so whimsical that I really want to go into it knowing as little as possible. And I know that it tells the tale of some sort of a sanctuary, underground sanctuary for stories and storytellers in this place called the Starless Sea. And I know that we have this young man, this young boy, Zachary, who finds this interesting book in his college library or his university library, his campus library. And he starts reading this book. There are a lot of stories in that book, a lot of magical stories. And he stumbles upon a story that is about him and his own childhood, which of course really grabs his attention and makes him want to learn more about this mysterious book and his own link to it. So yeah, this is all I know, but I feel like this is going to be a story about the love of stories and storytelling, and I'm always here for this. And yeah, as I said, it sounds so magical and so whimsical that just something about it tells me that it's gonna be a 5-star read for me. So hopefully, if I only pick one book from my March TBR, it's gonna be this one. Okay, next book is something a little bit different, and this is Siddhartha by Hermann Hesse. So the thing is that I hadn't even heard about this book. I had no idea about its existence before, but my boyfriend gave it to me for St. Valentine's Day, and he sounded really excited about this one. It is different than the things I read usually, and the thing is that I know little, very little about it. I know that it's not exactly literary fiction, but it's not non-fiction either. So in this one, Hesse combines different religions, different philosophies, and just spirituality in order to give you a new vision for life and creativity. And many people for generations, because this is a classic, many people for generations have been saying that this book changed their perspective from life and really inspired them and changed their creativity in a way. So as a creative person, someone who wants to be a writer, I think that would be a very useful read. And I haven't read a single bad review about it, so it sounds promising. Besides, look at this cover. It's just so beautiful. I really like Macmillan Classics collection. It's amazing. Okay, another audiobook that I would like to listen in March is the Unhoneymooners by Christina Warren. This is another rom-com that I've heard good things about and I would like to check out. We have our very, very unlucky Olive, whose twin sister Amy, who is the lucky one, is getting married. And Olive is forced to spend the day with her sworn enemy Ethan, who is the best man of Amy's fiancé. So Olive thinks that this is just going to be a one-day thing, that she would just have to put up with him for 24 hours and then just go back to her normal unlucky life. But everything actually changes when everyone at the wedding, except for Olive and Ethan, gets food poisoning. And now Olive and Ethan have to go to the prepaid honeymoon to Hawaii that her sister and her fiancé just won't be able to attend, which is, oh, for them, they have a free vacation. And yeah, they decide to put their mutual hatred aside for the sake of this free fancy vacation and just go to Hawaii. And they're determined to avoid each other at all costs, but Olive meets her future boss at this resort in Hawaii and tells a little white lie that actually turns up it turns up that Olive and Ethan now have to pretend that they are the newlywed in order to keep the lie alive. So yeah, it sounds like a bizarre situation, it sounds like a fun rom-com, and as I said, I've heard pretty good things about it, so I would like to check it out when I need a quick, breezy read. And the sixth book I'm hoping to read in March is The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue by Mackenzie Lee. Yes, this is another book that I was hoping to read last year, but I didn't. And then I added it to my 21 books I want to read in 2021. So yeah, here I go. Hopefully I'll just start ticking those off. I've actually read, I think, 2 books of this list already, or at least one I'm sure about, Normal People. But yeah, this is another topic. So yeah, this book, in case you don't know what it is about, we have Henry Montagu, who is this young 18-year-old boy who is famous for his reckless lifestyle. He loves booze, he loves gambling, he loves waking up in the hands of men and women, different men and women every night, every morning, more like. But yeah, he actually has to change his way because he is meant to be a proper gentleman and inherit his father's estate. But before he does this, he is sent to this grand tour across Europe, year-long. I think it's a year-long grand tour across Europe that is meant to mend his ways, in a way. But the way Monty sees it, because he is going to be going on this adventure with his best friend Percy by his side, the way he sees it, this is meant to be their last big adventure because before he has to settle down. But this breezy adventure turns into something completely different after one reckless mistake that turns this into a manhunt across Europe. And yeah, it's a historical fiction. It's set in 1700s England, I think, and it just sounds like a fun, adventurous read that I would like to check out, and hopefully I'll finally do. So that pretty much wraps up today's video. I really hope you enjoyed watching, and if you did, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on my new videos. Please let me know down in the comments if you've read any of those books that I'm planning to read in March, and if you did, what were your thoughts on them? Thank you once more for watching, and I really hope to see you all next time. Until then, have a smiley week. Bye!